Well, you just piqued my interest a little bit. So you might be familiar, within in the privacy space, right? We have this concept. The U.S. has a program called Privacy Shield, and it's supposed to
Hmm.
provide some level of assurance that we're doing the right things from a personal information perspective. So an EU nation might look at that and say, yeah, okay, we can ship our data there. That's kind of an interesting idea. That once we get to that point, if we're ahead of the game relative to most other countries, that's going to make American companies that you're sharing data with perhaps have an advantage over other companies from other countries that don't have that same level of assurance. So that's
So
kind of a cool
most
idea.
the UK, the EU,
Hmm.
Australia, Canada all have cyber standards.
Hmm.
They
Yeah,
already have
that's
done
those
them.
are yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, but most of those you've actually baked into CMMC,
Yep.
right? That's the cyber essentials, I think they're referred to, right? In
Yep. They're
Australia and
cyber.
UK, I think both call them cyber
Yeah, they
essentials.
call them Cyber Essentials. Canada is a volunteer program that they set up a few years ago, but they're moving towards adopting. So most of these countries, our Five Eye partners, have already leaned in. I mean, I met with Canada again today. I've been to Canada. I talked to the Ministry of Defense at the UK pretty regularly. How we're going to do reciprocity,
Oh, way
because
cool.
this. Yeah, it's really taken a global. And you go back and you think, how did we come to where we are today? So I always say there's nothing new under the sun, right? It's just a new way of looking at it. So you think about after World War II, the Department of Defense had something called a mil spec, and the mil spec is how the Department of Defense clearly defined how they needed quality and safety standards to be imparted into the manufacturing of product, right? At the same time, we started doing more global and international partners. We were building tanks together. So we had the NATO partners stood up something called the NATO standard. We had a very clear language, each of us, on how we thought we can convey quality and safety. Well, when we realized that we needed a common language, that's how ISO was started. The International Standards Organization was started because the DoD let in with the mil spec. NATO responded and created an international standards. We're
Hmm.
doing the exact same thing with the CMMC.
Yeah,
We are
it's so
the
funny.
world's largest buyer. We're determining how to do the buy, therefore everybody will jump on board.
And it's funny, it's us and BS 7799, the British security standard was the basis of ISO 1779
Hmm.
7799, which is like the root of ISO 27001 and 2.
Yep.
So it's a big circle, right?